Alright, what's up everybody? I'm in the garage again. I have, I'm just messing around. My niece wants me to make her a little pocket mirror. So I'm gonna record that. I made a few just for messing around, but I'm gonna make her one out of Bubinga. So that's the starting block, and they end up looking like this. This is a quilted maple. Another quilted maple. Little pocket mirror. Pine, beautiful piece of pine. Another piece of pine all fogged up. And this one is, I think, Ipe. Hopefully those aren't too bad there. Let's see. The mirrors I get from like Hobby Lobby or Michael's or something like that. Pretty cheap for a bunch of them. The quality isn't the best. There's some chips here and there, so you do lose probably 1 or 2 mirrors in the 6 or 8 that you get, if I recall. But I'm gonna try to maybe find a little bit better place where I can get those. They're replaceable. That's the other thing. They are glass, so they might break. So what I do is just put really teeny tiny 3 dots of silicone caulk on there. So if it does break, it'll hopefully hold it together so the person can then peel it out and then come back to me if they want it, or find the sizes online, or go to Michael's or Hobby Lobby if they're in local areas or whatever, or if you guys have them too. So I just had a huge chunk of Bubinga left over from a bar I made, and this is some scraps of it, and I got it squared off right now. I think it's 3 by 3, and we will put a hole in it. I'll show you, put a hole, and I'll trace the circle out, and then take you over to the bandsaw and cut it out, and then drive you over to the lathe, and we'll get started. So that's what we're gonna do today. Stay tuned. You gotta have a good reading material when you're messing around in the garage. So, all right, I think we said most of the time I do. It doesn't really matter, but let's line it up. Yeah, 3 inches. That's what I thought. And I'm just lining the edge up. This is a circle jig I got here, the bullseye. Poke it in the center where I kind of want it. Trace out the circle and go over to the bandsaw. Alright, this is pretty self-explanatory if you're familiar with bandsaw. Obviously lower your guide if you don't want to cut your fingers off. We'll actually leave it up a little bit so you guys can not have a shadow and see what I'm doing, huh? Alright. Let's see, here we go. Gonna be rackety. Okay, now we got a circle. We'll take you over to the lathe and true her up. A little trick for the bandsaw. Hopefully you can see that if you're trying to cut a good circle. I hope you could see. I hope you saw all that. As you cut anything and you want to try to be accurate to the line, use the back side of the blade as a buffer. So as you're cutting through, make that back side of the wood hit this blade, and it adds you as like a guide, and it controls you a little bit more. Obviously don't push crazy on it or anything like that, but use it as a almost like a radius or just like a guide. So I don't know, that's just a little tip that I like to do, and helps you control a cut if you need to. This doesn't matter, we're going to true it up on the lathe. So here we go. Okay, we're over at the lathe now. I kissed this side over my my disc sander to clean up the side that's going against the scrap block, and I'm going to put double sticky tape on there, and that'll be how it holds me on. Then, like I said, I got a center dot here that'll go on my tailstock, and we'll slide it up and get it as center as we can, and let that tape bond a little bit, and then we'll start turning. Alright, so we're going to do. Tape on the waste block. Slide you up. Find our center dot, put it in our tailstock point. Make sure we're in it. Slide it close. Real close. And kind of keep it flat against your waste block and snug her down. Let her set up for just a hot second, and then we'll leave the tailstock up while we rough shape it and pull the tailstock away, put our center in, check it with the mirror, and go from there. So we got. Alright, I had a request to do like a voiceover, so I'm going to try to do that on my laptop. So you're going to see what I normally do and just turn it. A few of the tools I'm going to use are just teeny gouge here, probably the easy wood tools, and sandpaper. That should be it if I need it. So that's where we're going after. And like I said, if I can get a voiceover, I'll do that and see what happens. Alright, let's rock it. Okay, I'm grabbing my easy wood tool here and truing up the outside and parting it down to the finished dimension. Grabbing my detail gouge and defining a quick profile shape. Using my dividers, I mark the size of the mirror cutout. Using the easy wood tool again, I cut the recess for the mirror slightly bigger and deeper than the mirror profile. With a few checks with the mirror, it's where it needs to be and fits properly. Now grabbing my sandpaper, I start at 180 and go through 600, reversing and forward the machine and checking in between each grit to make sure I got rid of all previous scratches from the previous grit. I grabbed my non-woven sanding pad, 800 grit, and then finished with my non-woven sanding pad at 1000 grit. Using Hut Crystal Coat, I apply the first 2 coats with the lathe off to sure to get the best penetration. Quickly adding the 3rd coat with the lathe at 300 RPMs, then turning her up to 27 RPMs and a light pressure to polish her up. Popped her off, flipped her around, jammed it on a small jam chuck, and the double sticky tape to finish off the bottom. Using the tailstock for added pressure, I use my easy wood tool and my detail gouge to get rid of the excess material. Once I got rid of the extra material, I removed the tailstock. With light cuts from the detail gouge, I clean up that last little nub. Quickly checking the flatness of the bottom, I lightly scrape using my homemade high-speed planer steel blade skew to get rid of any tool marks that may have been left behind. I add 3 small detailed lines on the bottom. Once again, starting at 180, I sand to 320 this time. Stopping to add my burn mark to the bottom. Then I finish up 600 with my paper and use my non-woven sanding pads to finish to 1000 grit. Same process with the hot friction polish to make her shine. Okay, so what I'm doing here is putting on a little of the friction polish. Put it on with the lathe off at first. Let it really get in there, and then turn it on. I'll probably turn it down a little bit until it starts to tack up, and crank it up, and just light pressure, nothing crazy. Get some heat on there. Get inside these little cracks with the fingernail. There she be, I think. Pop it off of this tape on this side. Clean it up if there needs to be any cleaning up. Hand buff it a little bit. And there we go. Alright, and this is what I use, just bathroom silicone, blah 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 crap. Okay, so I'm pretty clean here. Like I said, I just put teeniest 3 little dabs of glue. Silicone, whatever you want to call it. Alright, silicone's on there. And our mirror gets dropped in, pressed in place a little bit, and let dry. Don't mind the fingerprints, but there you are. Beautiful piece of wood. Hopefully she likes it. I see the small little chips in the mirror. I don't know if you can see them or not. They're small, but they're annoying. So there we go. Little hand pocket mirror for my sweet little niece. Hopefully she likes it. She said she wanted a dark wood, and this is beautiful. So there it is. Thanks for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, share, all that fun stuff if you want. And I'll see you on the flip side.